All right. I think, let's check it out here. For people joining in, give us 1 sec. We're about to start the party. All right. Welcome to Success Sundays. We're officially live. I'm excited. I'm one of your hosts, Oscar Chavez.
And I'm Jacob Galea.
Awesome. And we have today a very special topic, very dear to my heart. It's all about leadership. And the title is The Better Leadership Starts Between Your Ears. Jacob, I'm going to throw over to you as I normally do. I like asking questions, but you've been into situations where leaders have called you in. They say they want to go to the next level. They want to ascend their lives from where they are to where they want to be. Is leadership a core part of getting to the next level?
Yeah, look, I think first and foremost, Oscar, I think what's really important is to take a step back. And I think listening today has become an art again. I think listening and learning to listen again in a really busy, hectic world before you get to a leadership level is really important. I think a lot of people don't listen. You know, there's a difference between hearing a song and listening to a song on the radio. It's exactly the same in a business meeting, right? There's a complete difference to I can hear someone in the boardroom versus I'm really listening to what they're saying. And for me, you know, you've got to develop an extra level of listening now to get to the next level because, you know, once you can listen deeper in a conversation, you hear the things that most other people aren't hearing. Have you experienced that, Oscar?
Yeah, absolutely. Because sometimes people won't tell you exactly what they're thinking, and you've kind of got to read between the lines. And earlier in my career, I've had a few even leaders talk to me, and it's kind of like they're talking and talking and talking. They've made all these assumptions about who I am, but they don't take the time to actually ask questions. And you lose people like that. So if you're the type of leader that is just going out there and talking and talking, and you make all these assumptions about people or try to put them in a box, you've lost the respect of the people you're trying to lead. And
Hmm.
leadership is a game where you've really got to motivate people to walk with you. And I've read a lot of books, and you know, I lead teams as well, and I understand that extrinsic motivation, so motivation outside of themselves, so you know, monetary rewards or bonuses or spiffs they call it in the corporate world, those things don't really genuinely work. You have to help people be motivated from within. And the only way you can do that is to really tap into who they are as a human being, what their dreams, what their goals, what their ambitions are. And you've got to help them light that fire within them that helps them get to that next level. Otherwise, we just lose them, and you get all this talk and talk and talk, and you really don't become an effective leader. So you're right, Jacob. I think that leadership, that listening and leadership is one of the most effective skills that you have to develop as a leader. Otherwise, you lose the tribe. What do you think?
Yeah, look, and I think you raise a really good point there too, is that I think let's make something very, very clear. There's a difference between management and leadership, okay? A
Mm.
lot of people can manage a team. Don't get me wrong, in organizations, oh, very good. A lot of people can manage a P&L. A lot of people can manage a business, but managing something and making sure it's working the way it's meant to and leading it is very different. And, you know, a lot of people don't know how to lead. And you know, when you're around peak performers every day and all day long. I'll give you my definition of leadership of what I've seen. Leadership for me is about creating leaders around you. Okay, leadership is about creating a multiple stream of leaders underneath you. So if you're a leader, your job is to create more leaders. So that you know you've got then this connectedness of inspiration that you've got to be a motivator, you've got to be a leader, you've got to be a connector. You know, you've got to be creative, you've got to be innovative, and it's not waiting for something to happen, but it's creating something to happen. And I think, you know, now we're seeing this more than ever, Oscar. Disruption is here, and a lot of startup businesses are coming in, disrupting businesses that have been around for 20, 30, 40 years because they're not just managing an industry anymore. They're leading an industry. They're coming in and disrupting it. And for me, you know, there's a massive difference between, again, a leader and a manager. You know, even in a family, do you just manage your family household or do you lead it into greatness? Your body. Are you just managing the body that you got, or are you leading it and smashing it into greatness in the gym or when you do exercise? So I think for me, it's important that everyone asks themselves this week: Am I self-managing or am I self-leading this week? And then if you're in a team and you're a leader, am I managing my team this week, or am I really leading them this week? Where am I going to lead them to, and what is it going to lead into? So for me, they're two different things, don't you think, Oscar?
Yeah, and I love that you've put it that way, because for our lives, you can work yourself into a position. I see a lot of people like this. They work themselves into a position where they're just managing life. They're just getting by. They're just all right. How are you? I'm okay. But they're not living life to their full potential, and they're not truly trying to unlock and harness all that is within them. They're not trying to take the lid off their capacity. They're not trying to awaken passion and fire within them. And they're kind of just living, and I have this conversation a lot, like people that work within corporations, and in their mind, right? And we talk a lot about mindset, Jacob, but sometimes people have this mindset where they're like, I'm just going to work till 65, then retire, then kick back, relax, and I used to be like this as well. I used to think that one day I'll just retire and kick up my legs and never do anything again. But I actually did that. I did that about 4 years ago, where I was like, I'm going to retire, right? Kind of kick my legs back, and you just get really bored. Like that's when I wanted to get to the next level. Then I was like, all right, going to the next level. I've got to turn up the gas. I'm going to turn up the heat, because if you live a life that is just kind of kicking back and you've got your legs kicked up, then it's a passive life. It's not a life that's on fire. It's not a life that is that isn't as enjoyable. Like if you sit down at the beach for a whole day, you're going to get bored of just doing that. You've got to do something that ignites you. So I like what you say there, Jacob, in terms of, are you just managing your life? Or are you leading your life? Are you leading it to greatness? And every morning now, I mean, we've been doing so much stuff together, Jacob, you know me. I'm getting more passionate. I'm getting more fired up. When I wake up in the morning, this morning, Sunday morning, I was ready to just smash goals. And it
Love
was so
that.
productive. I was so productive. And so I'm now in the point where I'm really leading my life. I'm leading my life. I'm not leaving any stones unturned. I'm not just managing just to get by. I'm really leading my life to the next level. Jacob, what are the things that you see people do wrong from a leadership perspective? What are they doing wrong when you talk about, management versus leadership? What are they doing wrong?
Yeah, look, I think for me, especially being in high performance teams and boardrooms all day, number one is ego, right? The number one thing is they think they know it all. Like, oh, I've been doing this for 20 years and I've been in this industry for a long time and I know this. It's like, buddy, let me tell you, your techniques and your tactics are outdated. You're a dinosaur. You don't know it all. And that's why you're the first one that's going to lose your role and lose your company, because you're so easy to be disrupted, right? Because once you think you know it all, you stop growing, you stop learning, it's game over. And I think for me, number one is that walking into high performance boardrooms, and even someone that's sitting there and been running that company for 10 years going, hey, Jacob, let's brainstorm something new. I want to learn something I've never learned before. I want to have a blue sky session with you. And, I'm working with a CEO at the moment, and we've created in one of his businesses a war room. Okay. And,
Yes.
this guy's a very clever man. He's a multi-millionaire. But, on Friday there we were, it was pouring down rain outside, and there we were in the basement of one of his businesses building a war room. We had 7 whiteboards up. We had, we were learning things about his other businesses and throwing things on the wall. That's what it's about, right? It's an attitude of teach me more, take me to the next level. I don't know it all. I mean, even, I have mentoring groups around the world, as you know, but I still pay for mentors because, and I will pay for mentors and learn with mentors to the day I die, because,
Yep.
it's always be learning, never stop growing. And I think for me, Oscar, that's the number one thing that I see is people that, they get to a certain level and they think, I know it all. I've been doing this for so long and that's it. But the world's changing. It's faster. It's more disruptive. It's more colorful. And you got to learn to dance a different dance. Otherwise, you will be left behind, just like the dinosaurs, got taken out. So will the old dinosaurs.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I love that you've said, and every time we talk on Sundays, Jacob, I really feel like we really do see eye to eye on a lot of stuff. And you've mentioned ego, and when I see inflated egos, it really annoys me, because they really do puff their chest up and they feel that they're better than everyone else and treat people worse than them, or they even have this this philosophy that they don't listen. I even saw it today on social media, right? Sometimes social media is a bit toxic, and you see these comments such as, you know, I don't accept advice from anyone less successful than me, right? But how do you measure success, right? I mean, it's not something that you can just put a ruler up to and go, okay, how successful is someone versus another person. I
Sorry,
feel,
Oscar, that comment in itself. So sorry, just there, that comment in itself is so egotistical,
it
is
is.
so I know it all.
I love it.
Let's put the cards on the table. If someone's making that comment, for me, they have so much learning to do and so much growing to do. Because let me tell you something. This is where whoever that person is an effing idiot, and I'll tell you why. Okay. I was out today. Listen, it's a true story. I was out today, as
Yeah.
you know, I went with the family to the Blue Mountains, and I learned something from my 5-year-old niece.
Yeah.
So she took my hands and we went for a walk, right? And she took me for this walk. We went to the Hydro Majestic, and at being 5, she wanted to explore. She took me for a walk, and she was saying to me, "Hey, Tio, you know, have a look at this. And this is so beautiful. You need to relax more." Now, what a stupid comment from that person, because this 5-year-old's definitely not more successful for me. But I learned something from her today. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, this is the problem with social media, with all these people posting shit, Oscar, like that. Sorry, you've just got me all fired up and passionate now, and saying that, oh, you know, I'm not going to, you know, learn from someone that's not, you know, like, it just shits me, because I
Yes.
learned something today from a 5-year-old who made me realize that I need to stop and relax more. And she said, we were at the Blue Mountain. She said, look at that, and look at, and just stop for a minute and slow down. And, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, you can learn from a song, you can learn from a 5-year-old, you can learn from a 90-year-old. It's like, for me, that attitude of that person there is like, get out of our mentoring group, man. You're not going to fit.
Yeah, absolutely. Kick straight out, gone, right?
That's
Because
it.
otherwise, you know, you can learn from other mentoring groups and learn tactics, but this is about long-term sustainable success, because that mindset will trap you, and will lead to self-destruction, because the people around you will not respect you, because they will sense that ego within you, and they will not want to be with you or part of your team for long, because people want to be led. They want to be led properly. They want a visionary to come and take them to the next place and the next place, and build a long-term, lifetime strategic partnership with the people around them. They're the good businesses,
Absolutely.
right?
But
If you look
also,
at,
Oscar, what that person's doing, you know, Oscar, what that person's doing is, by saying those words, that person is putting out a negative
yeah,
vibration out to the world. Okay. Now,
yes,
as you know, and that's why I love doing these, because we're so similar. As you know, what you project is what you collect. So once you project
I
ego,
love that.
once you project bullshit out like that, what do you think you're going to collect back? You're gonna find people that are exactly like you, a dickhead. You're going to find people that think they know it all, and that's just how it's going to work. And you know, that's what Success Sunday is about, raw and real. You know, if there's anyone, you know, that has an ego, and let's talk about ego for a minute. One of my favorite topics. What does
Yes,
ego stand for? Okay, it stands for etching God out. And what it means, that every time you're in ego, you're getting further and further away from your whatever you believe in. Doesn't matter, universal energy or God, but you're moving further away from your core existence of who you are. Okay, so,
yes,
you know, when you're in ego, you are etching God out. Or there's another one, which is etching good out. So, you know, stop etching all the good out of you, and be open, be an open heart. Like I said, I learned from a 5-year-old today.
yeah,
Okay. And this is life.
yeah.
This is what it's all about, you know?
Yeah, I was going to say the same. I mean, my kids teach me every day. Like, I'm so open to learning new things from the janitor even. You know, I've seen people that are successful that treat wait staff like they're rubbish because they earn less than them, and it's like that sort of attitude will not get you anywhere in life, right? And I love what you said as well. You project out there. What was it? You reflect. Well, I love that one.
What you project is what you collect. So what happens is,
I love that.
and I talk about this a lot on stage, right? Is as your vibrational energy, as a person, if you project positivity, if you project, you know, all these good things, that's where you collect back. It's like a boomerang. Now, all these people that have bad things happen to them, and they're not where they need to be. When they engage with me, the first thing I do is have a look at what type of character they are. What are they projecting in thoughts, words, feelings, and actions? Because their life is a replication of what they're projecting. Okay. So it's really important that, if you want to be a successful person, you want good things in your life, start projecting all the things that you want to become. Okay. Because you
Yeah.
can't project negativity and get positivity back. It doesn't fucking work like that. Let's be honest,
Yeah.
right? You just can't do it. You have to project, professionalism, a beautiful heart, a charity, once a week, Oscar, when I go to a coffee shop where I have my meetings, there's a little old lady and she has toast. I see her all the time. I don't know her. I've never met her. She has her Vegemite toast and coffee. And when I leave, I pay her bill all the time and tell them an angel did it, because that's what it's about.
Yeah.
That's what leadership is. That's why we do these things, because it's about making better people and being better people.
Yeah, absolutely. This conversation really took a beautiful route because I love talking about ego as well. And it really is about you have to settle that. Like you said, like I love your book, right? The Birth of the Super You. You cannot be the super you if you're operating an ego. You can't do it.
No,
It's impossible. You'll never achieve your potential. Your empire that you're building will collapse because it's built on a deck of cards. Anything built on top of an ego is built on a deck of cards. Now I know this because I've had to settle the ego. I used to operate out of ego. My businesses were driven out of ego. I wanted to change the world because of ego, right?
yep,
Now I'm much more settled. And all I think is if I want to change anything out in the world, I have to just change me. I have to
that's
change
right.
me. I have to change my heart, who I am, the vibration that I put out into the universe. Not the like a lot of people talk about that airy fairy vibration, but literally every single thing has a magnetic field, an energetic field. And if you put the magnet near the metal will move. So it shows you how energy can actually impact matter. And so the energy that we put out into the world really is determinant on what we get back in life. So I love that it's taken this direction because that's what good leadership is, because it's sustainable leadership, it's long-term leadership, it's empire building stuff, which is what Success Sundays is all about. And unless we settle that ego down and realize that we can learn from even a 5-year-old or people that are less successful than us, then we've got no hope. That's just the reality of it.
100%. Well said. For me, look, Oscar, it's really simple, right? And I say like this is, if you focus on making an impact, you'll always make an income. But if you focus on making an income, you'll never make an impact. Okay.
Yeah.
So as long as people are trying to make an impact in everything they do, the income will come from the impact you make, because that makes you valuable. When you impact someone's life, buying someone a cup of coffee, tipping someone well, saying to someone, I really like and appreciate you, those good energies that you project is what you collect back. Not say to someone, I owe you, let's say, for example, a scenario, someone owes you money and they haven't paid, 3 months worth of your client fees, and they say, I can't afford to pay your fees. But then someone sees them at the best restaurant in Sydney, and they've got the best bottle of wine and the best, food. And you go, hang on a second, this is disrespectful. You see, you can't pay my fees, but you're at the, this is only going to bring bad karma to them. Pay
Yeah.
your bills, look after your people, look after your supply chain, do the good things, send good things out. Otherwise, of course, things are going to break and not last. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, look, we could talk about this for hours, but that's all we have time for in Success Sundays. So please join us again next week for Success Sundays. Ask the questions. Let us know what you want us to talk about. But this is the place where we prepare you for success. Any closing remarks, Jacob?
Loved it, Oscar. I could go on for this topic with you for another 2 hours, but yeah. Look, closing remarks. Make an impact this week. Self leadership, not self management. Team leadership, not team management. And focus on making an impact. And monitor your results, because once you start making an impact, your life, your world will change.
100%. And tomorrow, everybody, when you wake out of bed, lead yourself to greatness. That's the first thing you need to think. I'm going to lead myself to greatness, and then take action on how you can lead yourself to greatness. So that's all we have time for, everyone. I'll see you again next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.
See ya.